What is going on, y'all? It's your boy HD MMA back at it again with another video. Today we're going over my immediate reaction and breakdown to UFC Fight Night Seattle, Israel Adesanya versus Joe Pyfer. My fucking phone was on. Overall, it was a pretty good card. A lot of finishes on this card. I was gonna say all of the women's fights, but I just forgot this fight kicked off the card. So most of the women's fights on here got finishes, which is crazy to me. I don't think I've ever watched a card live where that's happened. And not only finishes, first round finishes as well, and first round knockouts as well. I've never seen that. So if that shit's happening, it's got to be a good card, and this was a very good card, very entertaining to watch. A lot of big finishes, a lot of big moments, a lot of very hype moments to start off. I don't think I did too well on picks. I think I went barely positive with the crafty main event pick switch on my Fight Companion stream. You know, I got to do that if it happens, but yeah. Overall, very good card. Let's get into this breakdown. So starting off the fight to kick off the card, we had Alexa Thynara defeating Bruna Brazil by unanimous decision 30-27. Overall, this fight went exactly how I said it would go in my breakdown. Alexa Thynara was just too strong in the grappling, got a lot of takedowns, got pretty much every single takedown she tried to get, pretty much she got. Spent a lot of time on top of Bruna Brazil. Bruna Brazil just not showing enough urgency to get back up to her feet or even be able to defend the takedowns of Alexa Thynara. Was holding Bruna Brazil up against the clinch as well. Up against the cage with the clinch, landing knees in the clinch as well on Bruna Brazil. Bruna Brazil just not able to deal with the physicality and the grappling prowess of Alexa Thynara. Brazil, she landed one spinning back kick on Thynara at the midway point of the third. No, it was like at the end, pretty much at the end of the third round, last minute of the third round. She landed a spinning back kick as Thynara was coming in, hurt her a bit, but Thynara was able to recover because she got the body lock and got the back of Brazil, and Brazil just wasn't able to separate and get space and able to capitalize on that moment. So overall, very dominant win for Alexa Thynara. I don't even think Bruna Brazil's in the rankings at strawweight, so it's just Thynara just protecting her rank at strawweight. So good stuff from her. That made me 1-0 on the card as well. Moving on to the first fight that pissed me the fuck off. This shit pissed me off when I was watching it live. We have Adrian Yanez and Ricky Simone going to a draw in this fight. I don't care what no one says. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what argument you fucking craft up, pull out of your fucking ass, pull out of your fucking urethra. I don't care where you get it from, what you're fucking saying. Adrian Yanez won this fucking fight. I don't give a damn what anybody says. Adrian Yanez clearly won this fight. He won rounds 1 and 3. And that is it. That is the only thing that should be said about this fight. Adrian Yanez was robbed of a victory. I had it while watching the fight. I had Adrian Yanez winning the first round and clearly winning the third round because of the knockdown and the damage. I know Ricky Simone, he won the second with the grappling, but fucking Adrian Yanez clearly won the first round and the second round, outlanded Ricky Simone with his jab and was landing good counters. was landing in the boxing exchanges as well in the pocket on Simone. Was clearly up on strikes in the first round and in the third round. Was able to piece up Ricky Simone, dropped him late in the third. Was piecing him up with the boxing combinations. And he won this fight. He just won this fight. The judges robbed him. I don't know if these guys were just fucking smoking. I don't know if weed is legal in Seattle. It's a pretty liberal place, so I would assume so. But they must have been either asleep in the first round or smoking the fucking top shelf level fucking meta. Most been spoken on what fucking, I don't know, Chief Keef had or some shit like that. They must have been smoking some extraterrestrial bullshit to think that Ricky Simone was fucking had won the fucking first round, because I think all three judges scored the first round for Ricky Simone, which is absolute fucking bullshit. That is absolute bullshit. And Adrian Yanez was blatantly robbed of a victory. Comeback victory as well. He had been away from the fucking been away from the cage for a bit, was dealing with some injuries, trying to build himself back up, and to be robbed of it in this comeback fight is criminal. It is absolute criminal. Absolutely criminal from the judges of the UFC, of the fucking athletic commission there they have in Seattle. So yeah. And that was the first robbery of this night. The first one. Wow, I want to save it for that fight for Ignacio Bahamondes into Tafik Musayev. I want to save it because this was brutal to watch, and it absolutely confused me. I do not see at all how you fucking score this fight a draw. And they also gave Giannis a 10-8 in the third round, which also surprised the fuck out of me, because fucking Simone I think he hurt Giannis early in the third round as well. I don't think he didn't hurt Giannis as bad as Giannis hurt him, but he did put some mustard on Giannis early in the third, and I think he might have dropped into a knee or like stumbled him or wobbled him. But yeah, just overall, just really bad fuck up from the judges. Yeah, that made me, I guess, 1-0-1 on the card. So yeah, moving on, we got Navajo Sterling defeating Bruno Lopez in the second round by TKO. Exactly what I thought it would be from Navajo Sterling. Was able to get the finish this time. I predicted him to be able to finish Bruno Lopez in the second round, and that's how he got it done. Was really measured, using his long range weapons well. Sterling was not really getting into much chaos with Bruno Lopez, not letting Bruno Lopez draw him into a crazy like firefight. He was staying very composed, fighting behind the jab, fighting behind the lead hand, using that front kick, using the low kicks, backing up Bruno as well. Navajo Sterling, he really needs to find the perfect kind of shot in order to really put it on you and sit down on his punches to hurt you. If he doesn't find that perfect opportunity, he does just kind of pick at you and kind of just coast on the gas a bit. He doesn't really put it on you. But he was able to find that shot against Lopez in the second round. I think he hurt him with a big overhand, and someone's at the door, so I'll cut this out. So yeah. Um, Lopez, he was trying to get the takedowns on Sterling. Sterling defended all of them well. Um, I don't think he even went to the ground in the whole fight. Was just separating well, doing all the right things in the takedown defense fight. He was Sterling. Every time fucking Lopez got the body lock, Sterling would just rip that shit apart in like 5 seconds flat. Showed a very clear like strength diff whenever whenever Lopez tried to get a hold of him. And when Lopez was just not able to do anything to Navajo Sterling. He caused like I think a tiny little welt on like the side of the face of Sterling, but that's pretty much it. When it got to the second round, Sterling bombed a big right hand on Lopez, hurt him bad. Almost had Lopez in the Golden Freddy position, like Dustin Jacoby had him in the fight before, but Sterling wasn't able to flatline him out cold in that position. Lopez, he got to a leg, and then Navajo Sterling just went to the ground and pound, flattened him out, and just kept pounding on him until the ref stepped in. The ref took a fucking hot ass, fat ass minute to step in and end the fight, but he was able to do it before the round ended. So good finish for Navajo Sterling. I think that's gonna get some hype behind him. At least he's able to materialize a moment for himself. So good win from him. Sterling doing everything that Izzy can't do. It's like whenever TKB has like these you see it like with these like new tall rangy guys that they have with like Carlos Ulberg and like Cam Rousen and Sterling. They're kind of able to train them the way that like Izzy isn't. It's like Izzy was like the version 1 of the blueprint of what CKB wanted to do with like their tall, rangy, like big guys in the big weight classes, and guys like Carlos Ulberg and Cam Rousen and Sterling are like the version 2. They're like the way more polished version of what Izzy was supposed to be. Like using that lead hand way more than Izzy does, using the measuring distance way more, controlling range with not only with the leg kicks but also with the jab and the lead hook as well. That's something that a lot of the new big guys from CKB do very well that Izzy doesn't really do. So yeah, good stuff from Navajo Sterling. He's very good. He's based as well, so great for him. Moving on, we got, and that made me 2-0-1 on the card. So yeah, moving on, we got the first round finish of the night. It is Casey O'Neill defeating Gabriela Fernandez by round 1 KO. Good stuff from Casey O'Neill. I had no idea what to expect from her, but she put up a really good performance, looked really good in the boxing, was able to just piece up Fernandez. Fernandez off the bat had really, really sus boxing defense. She was just kind of like holding her forearms in front of her face whenever O'Neill would throw punches at her. And you can't do that when you're a UFC fighter. And Casey O'Neill was able to just put it on her, rock her, I think with a 3-piece combo initially that stunned Fernandez. Fernandez backed up to the cage, and then O'Neill just started piecing her up with straights up against the cage until fucking Fernandez just sunk to her knees and sunk to her back, and the ref stepped in. So yeah, good stuff for Casey O'Neill coming off a long layoff. Face mogs Fernandez to death. I thought this was gonna be a precursor to what we would see in the co-main event, but I was wrong. So yeah. But good stuff for Casey O'Neill. She's got the surgery. She's mogging probably every other flyweight on the roster in the face metrics. So yeah, good stuff for her. yeah, that made me what 2-1-1 on the card. I picked Fernandez to win. And moving on, we got Marcin Tybura, we got Terrell Fortune defeating Marcin Tybura by unanimous decision. 29-28 on 2 scorecards. Terrell Fortune looked way better than I thought he would be. Performed very good. He looked fast in there. He looked very athletic in the first round. Even though he took the fight on short notice, he looked way faster and way more explosive, way more athletic than Marcin Tybura. Was able to use the grappling as well in the first round. Ran Tybura over with a big double leg straight into side mount. Was able to control Tybura with like the crucifix and stuff. Tybura eventually wrestled up, and then Fortune was able to fucking evade most of the like punches of Tybura. Tybura, he did land like the teep kicks, but that's all he kind of really had in terms of the striking. Fucking Fortune was landing the big punches on Tybura for pretty much the whole fight. Also initiating the grappling as well. That's something I thought Fortune wouldn't do. But I thought Tybura would do that, but Fortune was the one to be able to do that. Initiating the grappling, got in the clinch exchanges, got the takedowns. Just pretty much just out-tooled Tybura and out-craftied him as well. He out-craftied the gatekeeper Tybura, which is very impressive. Also on short notice as well. So I think that's he showed a big game, showed levels to Tybura, and was able to fucking make a namesake. Now he's I think he's at top 10 at heavyweight now. I don't know who he's gonna fight as well, so I guess we'll see in the future. But good stuff from Terrell Fortune. That made me 2-3-1 on the card. So yeah. And moving on, we got the fraud check of the card, and it is Lance Gibson Jr. defeating Chase Hooper in the first round by TKO. Chase Hooper is shit, man. Chase Hooper's dog shit, man. I think that's what needs to be said. I don't think Chase is gonna make a run. I don't think he has it in him. I think he's just too soy. He's way too soy, way too feeble, way too fragile for this game. I think he needs to get out before he gets done dirty by someone else, until he gets like flatlined by someone badly. And he's young too. He's only 26, but I don't think he's built for this game. Too fragile, too soy, too feeble. And Lance Gibson Jr. showed that. Also, Chase Hooper has such a it's like a women's level of misunderstanding of range that is it's honestly kind of astounding how he's a male fighter and he has such a such a oblivious level of a lack of grasping a concept like distance management. Chase Hooper just does not know when to throw his strikes and what range he should be in to throw the strikes. This whole fight, it seemed like Chase Hooper was just throwing punches and kicks way out of range on Lance Gibson. And then whenever he got close on Lance Gibson was able to land as well. And also, Chase Hooper shooting traditional takedowns on Lance Gibson was not the best move. And once you're a taller guy like Chase Hooper, you should be going to the body locks, to the trips, to the throws. You should be doing those types of takedowns when you want to engage to the grappling, instead of trying to shoot doubles and singles and stuff like that. That's a shorter man's move, and you're the taller guy. So very bad decision making from Chase Hooper. Incorrect game planning. Also, not being able to use his like not be able to use his body's like natural advantage against Lance Gibson as well. And that's kind of been the thing of Chase Hooper. He does not know how to use his like range and his like use his own body and able to benefit him. It seems like he's like giving up ground to like a lot of these shorter fighters, getting too close to the fucking Alex Hernandez and getting flatlined and getting not flatlined but finished by him. And now with Lance Gibson Jr. Shooting takedowns on Gibson, and Gibson being able to frame off, hit him with an elbow that rocked Chase Hooper badly, hit him with a kick, and then got in close with him and hit him with a knee that sent Chase Hooper crashing to the canvas and finished the fight from there. So yeah, good win for Lance Gibson Jr. Be able to finish a guy like Chase Hooper who has name value. So yeah, I thought Lance Gibson Jr. was not UFC level. He did not look UFC level when I was researching for him. But he showed Chase Hooper levels. Or maybe Chase Hooper is that shit and he's just devolved that fucking like he just devolved that much. It was never really that good to begin with. But yeah, good stuff from Gibson Jr. That made me what fucking 2-4-1 on the card, or 2-4-3 at least. Hold on, 2, 3, 2, 3-4, 2-3-1, and then we got this fight. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, y'all. This fucking fight, bro. This fight had me pissed beyond belief. We got Tafik Musayev defeating Ignacio Bahamondes by unanimous decision. Can I just say this? Whoever the ref was in this fight needs to be fucking fired immediately. The blind fucker that was reffing this fight needs to never be allowed in a 5-mile radius near a fucking mixed martial arts event for the rest of his life. This fucker let Tafik Musayev, after he had gotten rocked by Bahamondes with a clean straight right, dropped on his ass, let this fucker grab the cage with both hands, to stand back up, recover, take down Bahamondes, look right at this motherfucker as he's on top of Bahamondes in the same round. After a minute where Musayev had grabbed the cage with both hands, and then fucking let Musayev headbutt Bahamondes as he tried to pick him up, just straight up fucking headbutted the fucking top of his head straight to the tip of the chin of Bahamondes. Is fucking absurd. That is absurd. And didn't give a warning, didn't shout, didn't break up, didn't fucking take a point, didn't do any reffing. After seeing the two blatant fouls, blatant cheating that fucking Musayev did to Bahamondes, let all of this shit go without a fucking peep. That is fucking insane. That is absolutely crazy. But yeah, after that rant, overall, I think this was fight of the night. First off, this was fight of the night. Um, Bahamondes in round one, they were both striking at each other. Bahamondes was, I think he was getting better at the striking, getting better of the hands. Musayev was having trouble finding his range on Bahamondes, finding good counters, just finding any success with his hands in the stand up. In round one, Bahamondes had landed the cleaner shots. Round two, Bahamondes was pressuring Musayev, had him back up against the cage, bombs right straight on Musayev. Musayev sinks to the ground. Like I said, puts both hands on the cage in order to stand himself back up, gets in the clinch, and then takes down Bahamondes. After that, he picks up Bahamondes and then headbutts him. I can't remember if that was after or before he had landed the elbow that split open Bahamondes. Somewhere in either before or after that, Musayev landed a nasty elbow on Bahamondes that split him open super bad while Bahamondes was on bottom. And that's the thing about Bahamondes. He doesn't really work to get back up to his feet. He kind of like is content with staying on his back and throwing up like triangles and submissions and triangles and arm bars and rolling for legs, which is I think that's a big flaw in his game. I think you should work to get back up to your feet, especially when you're that dangerous. But Musayev splits open Bahamondes something nasty with a big elbow that you can also hear as well. Blood's just oozing out of the face of Bahamondes. I think the cut was like right here, like some fucking like right here, big ass gash, like kind of up and in between the eyes of Bahamondes. Bahamondes stayed with it though, dog ass nigga, tough as fuck. Bahamondes was able to stay in there and not get TKO'd. Yeah, they were just fighting on the ground from there. Musayev had top control pretty much for the entire round off that. Along with the elbows and the ground and pound that he was unleashing on Bahamondes. Bahamondes was staying in there, trying to throw up triangles and arm bars and just work and fight off of his back, which wasn't really serving him that well. That was in round two. Round three, Musayev gets another takedown. Pretty much just stays on top as like he did in the fucking in the second round, landing the ground and pound. Bahamondes still content to fight off of his back and throw up triangles and arm bars and stuff like that. And that happened for like a majority of the third round. Closer to the end of the third round, Bahamondes sweeps Musayev with a nasty sweep and ended up on top on the back of Musayev, but he was just so fucking dead tired from fighting and scrambling off his back that he wasn't able to capitalize off the reversal. And then I think Musayev either took him back down and got on top, where I think they stood up for a little bit at the end of the third, but it was at the end and nothing much really happened. So great, really good fight. Dog ass performance from fucking Bahamondes, able to stay in there with the fucking staying there despite having that massive gash on his eye and the fucking the vicious ground and pound Musayev was landing on him, the cheating bastard. But Musayev got it done. Blatant robbery. I hope and pray that this got fight of the night, at least for they compensate, the UFC compensates Bahamondes for his troubles and putting on a very grueling performance for us. So yeah, good stuff from both these guys. I think Musayev is fucking ass. I think this is kind of the level. I don't think even Musayev is at this level. He fucking cheated. He Deadass almost got finished in round 2 by Bahamondes if it wasn't for the fucking cage grab. I think if he fights anyone better than Bahamondes, which Bahamondes he's in between the top 15 and the top 20 at lightweight. If he fights anyone better than Bahamondes, I think he gets smoked up out cold and probably 2 rounds. So yeah, maybe we give Tafik Musafayev to fucking, I don't know, Manuel Torres. And Manuel Torres can fucking dust him up in 2 rounds and smoke him up out cold. So yeah, good win for now, buddy. Your cheating ways worked for now, but I don't think it's gonna save you once you get to that top 15 at lightweight. But yeah, good stuff from both these guys. Fight of the night should be. Let's check. Hold on. I'm gonna fucking bring a tab over. I don't know if they fucking have released performance bonuses. God, I type so slow. Yeah, this did get fight of the night as well. So yeah, performance of the night for Izzy, for Pyfer and fucking Grosso as well. So yeah, this did get a bonus. So good stuff for both these guys. And that made me 2-4-1 on the card as well. Not looking good for me on the prelims. So, but yeah. And now we get to this generational ass main card. This was a great, probably the greatest, if not one of the greatest main cards that I've seen on a fight card. And kicking off that great performance, we got Terrence McKinney defeating Kyle Nelson in 24 seconds into round 1 by TKO. What I said, Terrence McKinney just went out there and speed blitzed Kyle Nelson to hell. Fucking, I knew looking at Kyle Nelson, I didn't think he had that dog in him, and he turns out he didn't have that dog in him. He landed 1 strike on McKinney. McKinney just went out there, he hit him with a jab to start it off, and then I think he stung Nelson with a 1-2. And then Nelson covered up, and McKinney threw a head kick that hurt Nelson badly, even though Nelson had both his hands to block the head kick, it still hurt Nelson really bad to drop it. And then Terrence McKinney just pounced on him, fucking just poured on the ground and pound. I think like 3 of them hit the back of the head of Nelson, but we're not gonna we're gonna look past that. And then the ref just stepped in. So not much to talk about. Great performance for Terrence McKinney. Got the win in his home state as well. He's from Washington. Got the big win. Got the quick finish as well. And McKinney, hold on. McKinney didn't get a bonus. I just realized that as well. McKinney didn't even get a bonus for this. I know he got a finish bonus, but he didn't get a performance bonus from this, which is crazy. That's pretty fucking crazy that McKinney didn't get a performance bonus for this. I think he should have got one. He should have at least got one for this fight. 23-second TKO or 24-second TKO doesn't get a performance bonus. That's kind of fucked up. That is very fucked up. Yeah, but good win for McKinney. Went out there and blitzed him in classic McKinney fashion. And moving on, we got Yusri Belgaruri defeating Mansour Abdul Malik by round 3 TKO. This was a masterclass, bro. Malik landed 16 strikes over 3 rounds. Are you serious? This is a master class from Belgaruri. He was piecing up Malik for pretty much the entire fight. Malik, he's good. He's fast. He's explosive. He's very powerful. but he just does not have the technical ability to really ward off a guy like Belgaruri in the striking or in the grappling. Malik could barely even get his hands on him for the whole fight. He was just like, every time Malik would try to punch at the head of Belgaruri, he would like punch to like the body or the shoulders. From, I think that was just from being like too hurt and just being too tired and not being able to move as well. Because Belgaruri was chewing up the lead leg of Malik with the low kicks, piecing Malik up with a jab to the body, coming up upstairs, jabbing to the head, landing the right hand as well. Combos on fucking Malik as well for pretty much the whole fight, landing that lead uppercut on Malik as well, or rear uppercut on Malik. Every time Malik would try to like blitz in with like a takedown or come into like a clinch exchange, Belgaruri would like step back, hit him with that rear uppercut, peeks him up with some more as well. Dropped him at the end of the second, I believe, with a right hook. I think dropped him at the end of the second. Was landing big stepping knees on Malik as well, shucking off all the takedown attempts of Malik. Every time Malik would get him down, Belgaruri was just frame on the head with the fucking with his rear hand, just frame on the head, get space from Malik, get back up and start piecing him up again. This was a masterclass. I think I'm gonna watch this fight again back to see how fucking much Belgaruri was just piecing up Monster Abdul Malik. Malik he literally had nothing for him at all. Didn't have the takedown attempts for him, or takedown like technique and be able to keep Belgaruri down. Didn't have anything for him in the striking at all. Didn't have anything. Just had pretty much just a power advantage, and he couldn't even really land clean on Belgaruri at all. Belgaruri was just weaving out of the way, and not even weaving. He was just too tall for the hurt state of Monster Abdul Malik to land like clean on him and land like accurately on him. He was just way too like tall and way too technical for Malik to land anything of effectiveness on him. And Belgaruri just pieced him up, and then third round hit him. He hurt Malik with a combo that had Malik backing up, and then fucking hit him with that big stepping knee up against the cage that put Malik down, and then the ref just called it off from there. So yeah, really, really, really good performance, masterclass from Belgaruri here. He is a problem at middleweight with this frame, with this height. I don't know who beats him. I think it's gonna take him getting into like the top 5 at middleweight for people to like really give him a challenge. Because now if you give him like these prospects and even some of these like older like middleweights, I think he pieces all of them up. I think he fucks all of them up, chews them all up with leg kicks, with jabs to the body, with combos, with knees, defends all the takedowns, and fucks them up very, very badly. So yeah, great performance from Belgaruri. He was an underdog in this fight as well. I don't know what the odds makers were smoking, making Belgaruri an underdog. But yeah, I got the crafty underdog pick. I thought it was blatantly obvious that he was gonna win this fight. But yeah, good stuff. Really good stuff from Belgaruri. And moving on, we got. Fuck, they said his name differently in the announcer table. I'm just gonna say Larion Douglas defeats fucking Julian Erosa in round 1 by KO. Really, really nasty stuff from Douglas. Was putting it on Erosa with the boxing. Erosa, he would try to trade with Douglas, but the power diff, man, was so fucking apparent. Every time Douglas landed on fucking Erosa would feel it. He would get wobbled, get rocked, get dropped, And every time Arosa landed on Douglas, it would just do legitimately nothing. It was damn near fucking hitting, doing the pipsqueak fucking plushie toy noise. The every time Barossa would try to land on Douglas, it would just off the fucking head of Douglas, and Douglas would just fucking wind up, hit him with a fucking 12 gauge of a right hand, and then a fucking 12 gauge of a left hook, just smacking up Arosa whenever he connected. But really good stuff from Douglas. Good performance. Looked really good in the boxing. He was cracking fucking Arosa with jabs. He knocked Arosa down and like sunk Arosa into the cage like 4 or 5 times with just one jab. Douglas would just throw one jab and Arosa would just fucking wobble backwards and sink into the cage. And he did that like 4 or 5 times at least in this fight to Arosa. And then knocked him down with a jab. I think clipped him over the top with the right hand, put down Arosa, clipped him over the top with the right hand again, and then finished him with the left hook while Arosa was kneeling up against the cage in the Golden Freddy. So yeah, really, really exciting performance from Douglas. Really powerful. Looks like a big, fast, athletic guy at featherweight. I think he's like 5. He's a big featherweight as well. So yeah, very, very fast, athletic, very powerful, good prospect. And he smoked out Julian Arosa in a round. So yeah, good stuff for him. Moving on, we got the most... I don't even know how to feel about this. This is like... Chiesa didn't even throw a strike in this fight. He won this fight without throwing a strike. I just realized that. But, yeah. Or without landing a strike. He threw a strike without landing a strike. But, we got the most just fucking... Please don't expose any hidden secrets you found while working the front desk at the UFC ass retirement package and fight for Michael Chiesa. Michael Chiesa defeats Nico Price by a round 1 submission with the rear naked. This felt like, please do not leak any information you have seen working for the UFC behind the scenes. Chiesa, I wouldn't put it past Chiesa from like, I think 10 or 20 years from now, Michael Chiesa going on a fucking podcast and just ratting out Dana White and all of fucking Dana's secrets to the internet in like a massive fucking interview that goes viral. I wouldn't put it past Chiesa to be in there telling us the fucking hidden dungeness fucking secrets that Dana White has been up to behind closed doors at the UFC. I wouldn't put it past that to happen in the future. But for now, really great performance for Michael Chiesa. Got it done in his hometown, or his home state by submission. Retired as well. Just took down fucking Price. Price is way too old, way too slow, does not have any shred of athleticism anymore. And Chiesa just moved around on the outside, got in close, shot it in the clinch, got the takedown, slammed Nico Price, got the back immediately. Nico Price tried to like do a flip and like slam Chiesa off of his back, but ended up just going worse for him. Then Chiesa immediately just got the arm under the chin, cinched up the rear naked choke with the gable grip, and got the tap immediately. So good stuff, really great stuff for Michael Chiesa. Was able to get the victory, a first round sub in his home state, retire with a win on top as well, get a retirement package. Just have his big fairy tale like dream Disney moment in his home state. So yeah, really good stuff for Chiesa. And moving on, we got this one right here was brutal. And also DJ got into the Hall of Fame as well. So yeah. But this fight right here was brutal. We got Alexa Grasso defeating Macy Barber in round 1 by KO. I picked Alexa Grasso to win, but I didn't think she'd win this emphatically. This was brutal for a women's fight too. I think this was the most brutal women's KO I've seen in like live. I've seen live. This is probably the only like flatline women's KO I've seen live, I think, since watching the UFC live. But yeah, Alexa Grasso got it done. They were both like kind of moving around on the back foot. It was very apparent to me that Grasso had the boxing advantage on Barber. Every time Barber would try to move forward on Grasso, she would just get clipped up with a combo, and then Grasso would kind of just back up and exit out. I said in the breakdown that Barber, she moves, but she doesn't have the movement package in her skill set to be able to defeat a girl like Alexa Grasso, who goes forward, has a blockhead mentality. She comes from fucking Globo Gym with Diego Lopez and Arena Aldano. She only goes forward or just sits in the center. And that's the same thing Macy Barber does. She either bounces around at the center with like that. She either does that or she goes forward on girls. And Alexa Grasso is not a girl you go forward on. You have to move around on the outside and cut angles and be elusive on the back foot. And Barber does not have that in her skill set. And she paid the price for it. I think she tried to go in on Grasso like 3 or 4 times. Was getting clipped up with combos pretty much all 3 times. And also, Barber fucking closes her eyes whenever she gets into an exchange, and that costed her. Right before Grasso landed that big counter left that put out Barber, I swear, had her eyes closed for pretty much the entire exchange, and then just as she was opening her eyes, Grasso pretty much had that fucking left hand just like fucking 90% of the way coming towards her chin, and she just got clipped and put out cold from it. Nasty stuff. Grasso puts Barber out cold with the counter left as Barber came in to trade in the pocket. Puts her out cold with the counter left. Barber gets put out cold and just gets like spun around and sat down onto her back. And from there, Grasso just jumped onto her back, latched in a rear naked choke. That was unnecessary. Barber was completely out cold from the punch before, but Grasso also latched a rear naked choke while Barber was out cold. The ref called it off from there. Called off the fight, and that made the win for Grasso go. So good stuff for Grasso. She's way better than all of these other girls. Other than Natalia Silva, I think she's ahead of all these other girls in women's flyweight. Fucking Barber. I thought Barber was. I'm not gonna lie. Watching live, I thought Barber was dead, bro. She had such a soulless look in her eyes, just like a blank fucking nothing is here ass stare she had in her eyes while she was just laying there. She was like unresponsive, didn't move for like a full, I think 2 or 3 minutes. She was just in the same position, just fucking like looking like fucking SpongeBob when he got put in the SpongeBob movie, when he got put under the light in the fucking in the fishing store before he got rescued by David Hasselhoff and them. He was just put out completely, doing the fucking Usman stare and the Leon stare. Barber was hitting the fucking Usman stare. after the fight was over. But yeah, really good win for Grosso. First round flatline KO in a women's fight in the co-main. That is like a once in a thousand kind of thing you get in women. At women's flyweight, I think women's flyweight is the best division out of all the women's divisions. Flyweight is the best division. Stuff like this does not happen at bantamweight, and it sure as hell is not going to happen at strawweight. So yeah, good win, really good win for Alexa Grasso, and that made me That made me fucking 3-4, 4-4, 5-4, 6-4, 7-4 on here. So yeah, good stuff for Grasso. Yeah, really, it's really got to suck for Barber because she went on a big win streak. She had setbacks in her career, dropped a couple to some grizzled, some old girls, some old vets in the game. Finally got a win streak about her, was about to fight for a title, and then just gets fucking put out cold like this. It's tough after the boob job as well. So yeah, good stuff for Grasso. Moving on, we got Big Smoky Joe, Salty Joe Pyfer defeating Israel Adesanya by round 2 TKO. This was a very fun fight to watch, but it was a very eye-opening performance for me in terms of Israel Adesanya's legacy and how his career has went. These new guys at middleweight, man, they're different, and I think Izzy was just kind of skating by on the fact that he was just way taller than all the other guys. When he was coming up in middleweight, he was just way taller than all these other guys, and he was just kind of skating by on that. And now that middleweights have grown and have are that kind of 6'2", 6'3" range with that are also built, that have big frames and strength and power. I think the days of a guy like Izzy, who is just kind of a string bean and just kind of a reach merchant and a small guy, short guy, kind of fraud maxer at middleweight, I think those days are done. This is kind of the first time a guy the size of Pyfer has thrown heat at Izzy and backed him down and put pressure on him and put force on him. And Pyfer got it done. Izzy, he was looking good in the first round. He was clipping Pyfer with some right hands, landing good calf kicks on Pyfer as well. He wasn't really finding his lead hand. That's something Izzy always does. He doesn't establish his lead hand on guys. He kind of just brings it down to his hip and just kind of tries to aura farm with the right hand, or he'll throw a 1-2, but it'll kind of just sort of egotistically and clip farmingly look for his big right hand a lot, and he doesn't really find his jab and throw it in even throw a lead hook to set up the right hand. That's something he always that's something he's always lacked in his career. And Pyfer was able to pretty much get past it, tank all the big shots from Izzy. Pyfer had some success with the grappling at the start of round 2. He didn't have much success in round 1. Izzy was defending a lot of the takedowns, was framing off, separating really good in round 1. It was kind of Izzy's round in round 1. I'm not gonna lie, he outlanded Pyfer, was making Pyfer look kind of goofy. But in round 2, Pyfer really just turned on the pressure, turned on the pace, started really backing down Izzy, kind of forcing Izzy into trading with him in the pocket. That's something that Pyfer was doing very well, was forcing forcing Izzy, not letting Izzy like sort of back up and stay at like the range that he kind of wanted to be. He would go forward and force Izzy into these close range exchanges, and Izzy was doing well in them at first. I know Izzy landed like a couple of left hooks and right hands that had Pyfer's like body language kind of going all wobbly and stuff, and Izzy kind of like he got too comfortable and overzealous for it. And then Pyfer, he started to trade with Izzy as well and started landing big hooks, big right hands, big left hooks on Izzy as well. Pyfer was landing, and then it led to the grappling. Then Pyfer got Izzy down with the body lock, got the mount on Izzy. Izzy gave up his back as well. That's another thing Izzy does. He has a very weak decision making on the ground. He doesn't really know how to like scramble that well and like wrestle up and get and like not give up like bad positions in order to get out of another bad position. That's something Izzy does not do. He doesn't like create scrambles that well on the ground, and if you get him in like a mount or side control, he'll kind of just give up that bad position and go into another bad position. Vittori had his back in the fight, in their second fight as well. So yeah, that's another thing Izzy's got to work on if he wants to. I think Izzy might be done. He's gonna take a massive fucking down, like fucking massive backtrack into the rankings. Is gonna be at like what, 14, 15, maybe like 13, somewhere that range into the rankings. And I don't know if he wants to like fight back up to get back into like title contention or whatever. He might just like be like an MVP kind of guy and just go for fun fights and fun like striking matchups. But I think his days for contending for the going back to the title and contending back are done with this loss. But yeah, Pyfer was able to get the back of Izzy as Izzy gave it up. Was looking for the rear naked. Izzy was like squinting bad, trying to like, as he was like hand fighting with Pyfer. I think Izzy scrambled back into the mount. I mean, he scrambled back, like turned into Pyfer while Pyfer had the back, and then Pyfer got the mount again, and then was landing big elbows on Izzy as well on top in the mount, and then Izzy gave up his back again, and then Pyfer just unloaded the ground and pound on him. I swear, Pyfer thought Izzy was reaching for a gun. He started unloading ground and pound on Izzy for like 10 seconds, 15 seconds straight, and then the ref stepped in. So, yeah. Really, 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 really good win for Pyfer. Shoots him up into the top 5 as well. Kind of going to the deep end. I don't know if he beats any of the guys in the top 5 above him, because he's got, Strickland's above him, Imovov's above him, and Duplessis above him. I don't think he beats any of those guys. Maybe he fights like, I don't know, Kyle Bahallo or something like that to like get another fight before he gets into like that Shark Tank that is like the top 3 and the champ of middleweight. But we'll see what happens from there. And I did switch my pick right before Pyfer won, so you got to give me that. Hey, they want to know if I didn't switch my pick to Pyfer 1 second before the fight happened. I mean, before the fight ended. I guess we'll never know. We'll never know. So, that's 8-4-1 for me on picks. So, switch my pick to Pyfer. I picked Grosso. I picked Chiesa. I picked Douglas. I picked Bulgari, and I picked McKinney. So, that's a flawless main card performance for your boy. Yeah, fucking 8-4-1 on picks. So yeah, pretty good for me. And that is my reaction and breakdown of this fight card. Overall, really sick card. A lot of good finishes. Main card was super sick. Honestly, kind of saved the card as well, or it majorly elevated the card. The prelims were good. There were some good finishes on there, but this main card was so sick. All finishes. When's the last time we got all finishes? All finishes on the main card. There's at least one decision, but all finishes on the main card as well. Really good night of fights. So yeah, good stuff from the UFC on this card. Really good card. Next we got Moicano Duncan. That's gonna be a drag, but yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the fights. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Yeah, make sure to like, comment, sub, hit the bell so you don't miss any other uploads. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.